Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishna. Here basically we are discussing the topic that is investment. So one person basically asked the question. Sunil, basically you told in previous video that basically if condition basically are also basically controlled by power company. So that type of thing only the military army group they only basically require that way, and that is very dangerous thing basically. That is very dangerous. So one person told that missile basically is getting fired. In that basically missile basically if condition while loop for loop everything is basically ongoing in that missile basically, and in that suddenly basically the power supply was passed to that missile, and that missile in that missile power supply basically the for loop was removed. So in this basically do you know what happened basically? In that basically the things happened was the missile was supposed to be dumped in one country, but that basically jumped into the another country basically, the nearby country. So one person told that how basically you can explain this. So Sunil that told that basically near one of the person told that near country. So India country is one country. So near countries are what basically? Bangladesh is there, Pakistan is there, China is there. So missile was going to dump into some other country, and it dumped into the some other country. So that basically how that can be done basically. So he told that basically missiles is ongoing, for loop is ongoing, while loop is ongoing, everything loop is ongoing in missile programming. Suddenly basically the power supply which was supposed to be passed, that was not passed. In that basically the for loop got truncated. And in that for loop basically the loop was written that basically condition business logic was written that the missile is supposed to be dumped into that country, but it jumped into some another country. So you can just imagine basically how the controls are getting controlled. So that's why basically the rich people are, that is 100 people basically who are ruling the world basically, they are still ruling basically. They are still ruling basically. And they are where saying that basically we can't say, but wherever basically staying, they are ruling like this. So one person told that yeah, कैसे मतलब how they might be, how this basically tracked here basically, how this can be tracked, because it's not possible that Microsoft will track this. Why? Because Microsoft don't know that also that text box equal to 1,000 cities. SAP group basically don't know that basically text box equal to 1,002 cities, while loop basically which they are running in the .NET coding basically, that is coming from one of the power supply. If that power supply will not come, the while loop it will not work basically. If condition basically which he is displaying in the .NET coding basically is if that power supply will not come into that coding basically, the if condition will not work. That basically the Microsoft don't know basically. So that is basically from that video basically he can able to know. But here the question is, who is taken the 3,000 subscription data basically? So one of the person told that you are recording from Microsoft, right? So Microsoft basically can't take the data basically like this. That he will take the 3,000 subscription amount, and instead of the bank account basically of Sunil Arnair, he given the Microsoft bank account, and in that Microsoft bank account basically the money is getting deposited. The money actually was supposed to be deposited in Sunil Arnair account. That is not happening basically. This type of activity the Microsoft will do? No, basically he can't do. Why? Because he is the number 10 richest person basically in the world. So he can't do this type of thing basically. Then another option basically told that VI software, VI basically the mobile company basically, the SIM card company which you are using. So VI group told that no, basically we can't do this type of activity here basically. These all are chiller thing basically. We don't do this type of chiller thing basically. Then the another group basically was YouTube basically. That is the Google group basically. And Google group told that basically we don't require this type of thing because we have lots of money basically. Then the question is who has taken this 3,000 subscription amount basically? Because when 3,000 subscription amount will come, I will be eligible for money basically. So that money was basically taken by set of groups. So one of the person told that who might be that group basically. So Sunilana told that basically who might be that group basically. So suddenly basically one day one person told that Sunil ye to nahi hai basically. He is taking, because when we asked him basically he told that basically some group, actually the government group na, basically they told that, because that is that government basically, when Sunil R Nair given the resume to Tantra group na, basically in Tantra group basically they called and told that basically don't give job to the Sunil R Nair. So they literally basically not taken the resume also, and they told that basically at present basically we don't have any job opportunity only. We are not taking the job only basically. We are not recruiting only. We only stop the recruiting. That also basically some group told that there is at present basically they are not taking any biodata only. So here basically suddenly the things connected to what? One army group basically told that basically you have told that if condition basically. We told he told that basically yes basically something like is there basically, but that was basically not checked. So he told that basically we accepted the mistake basically that was done by the American group basically, because entire software industry is controlled by USA basically. So they told that basically you are telling correct basically. We know that basically this is the area basically from where the if conditions are getting derived. So if that data basically will not be passed into the power supply data, then that condition will not work. So it might possible that Sunil basically somebody might have taken your 3000 subscription data basically. Possibilities are there basically. Possibilities are there, and this video basically if any group will watch that basically he will 100% get the best army person award basically. He will get the best coding award basically. And even basically Microsoft basically will display this everything basically in front of the USA government basically. USA government will say that, alright, you take basically everything basically. So that basically it might possible that your video basically also might not be getting display in public basically, because somebody basically might have some done some algorithm that your video basically is not supposed to be displayed, because this type of things are very dangerous basically. If this type of thing basically any very dangerous person basically who want to rule the entire world basically, if he will get this video, he will directly will basically 100% he will implement this thing basically. I am 100% sure basically he will implement this basically. He will say that basically, see basically this for loop has not worked because that power supply is not captured and we have not sent that power supply. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the things are basically connected and going to connect also basically. So one of the person told that SAP basically what they have basically, they don't have anything basically, because user controls, if condition, while condition, for loops, the entire coding basically are deriving basically from other side only. Then what SAP basically have, what Microsoft basically have, what C++ have, what Java basically have. These all are basically the questions basically which arrives. So one person told that, yeah, that need to think basically, yeah, basically. This need to think basically. That what actually the question is. So few people told that, yeah, the Infosys people say that, Arey bhai, we don't take BCom people basically. That also basically Infosys group has told this basically. That was basically the insult of BCom people basically. But when Infosys group watched this video, basically, he literally thought many times. He basically closed the entire door and basically he watched this video 100 times basically. And he told that basically, yeah, that basically we also actually thought sometime basically that this text box basically which we are deriving, that is coming from where. But that time basically we not thought actually. But that time basically we were very busy. So we started coding and we basically earned 5,000 crore, 10,000 crore, 20,000 crore. Now basically suddenly will text box will get disappear. So what you will give the answer to your customer basically. Because you have already taken the money, everything basically you have taken. You have told that basically government, we are the king of software industry. That also you have told to the government basically. That also to the Indian and American government. So in next video basically we are going to see it.